What's going on? I want to make a video about the different lawn mowers that we use. Alright, so in a lot of the smaller yards that have narrow passage, like a small gate, it's a 33-inch World Lawn. And this mower is not what you guys are probably used to, and it's not hydraulically driven. It's a gear drive, which I'll be honest with you, complete pain in the ass. If you're on the fence about spending an extra two grand to get like a 36 or a 32 hydro versus a 36, 32 gear, definitely get the hydro. You will not regret it one bit. That extra 2 grand will be made up in efficiency. Over here's another one we use for small gates, and this one is the Gravely Pro Stance 36. We don't like the ones that have the integrated platforms. Reason being is you can't use them as walk-behinds. So these that have the operator presence on the handle, you can use these as a walk-behind, just like this. I mean, if you're on a steep slope and you're don't feel comfortable on the platform, you can do that. This is our main mower we use for like bagging leaves, cleanups, whatever. We pull stuff behind us sometimes. We got an aerator, dethatcher, and I think that's it. This is a pretty old machine. I've had it since 2015, but it's still pushing. This one actually has had a hydro go out on it, so I can show you that real quick. It's a heavy seat. Yeah, the hydraulic ZT 3400. See it right there. Brand new versus really old. Glare to go away. Or the shadow. It's in there. It's an old one. Yeah, that sucked. That was about 2 grand. Well, it was 14 after tax. 900 for the hydro and 400 to put it in. 36-inch deck, 48-inch deck, 33-inch deck. This one is a pain in the ass though, man. It's everything is driven by belts, so you got to keep the belts constantly tensioned and make sure there's no tears, no rips, nothing like that. This has actually been a great mower, this little Exmark. This is the 30-inch commercial. It's got the FJ 180 lawnmower, or Kawasaki lawnmower engine. What's actually strange is that this is the commercial one. The consumer one has a bigger engine on it, but it's not. It has a bigger engine, but it's not a commercial grade engine. It has a Briggs & Stratton consumer grade engine. People talk down on these because they don't cut well in wet conditions, but it's not really what we use it for. You know what I mean? It gets you through if you're in a bind. You need something to get into those small areas in a pinch. It's a $1,800 machine, On top of that, your guides won't damage anything, so you put like a newbie on this thing, And the worst he could do is maybe fling something from the discharge. You know, that's the worst thing he could do. It's not like he's going to run into anything. If he does, the rubber wheels are going to hit it. So that's a great machine. Also, it does a really good job bagging and mulching with that little plate on there. This is on there right now. It does a really good job. And we have a Scag B-Ride 52. That's basically it. That's the same as the Gravely. It is a non-integrated platform, so you can flip it up, use it as a walk behind. Here's some of our handheld stuff. Steel. It's all steel. So we have, I think they're all FC90s or FS90s. Yep, FS90s, and then we have the combi, so the KM90s. That's a little dethatcher right there. It just hooks up behind the lawnmower. Shop back, clean the garage out, or the trucks, which probably never happens. We get so busy. It's like you want to work, clean when you get home. Like, no, you don't. So we do that like maybe once a year. We try to keep the outside somewhat clean, but as far as blowers go, we use BR 600s, and I've had this one since about probably 2014, and that thing just goes forever. That's the Shindawa something. EB, what is it? It's some kind of Shindawa. Get it to focus. Oh, EB633 RT is what it is. There's a chainsaw down there. That hedger is busted. We got a DeWalt pressure washer. Let's go spreader. This one's new. This is the R series. So this one's made for pruning. This is the HS82R. This one's got bigger teeth on it than what your standard. Let's see if I get a good view on that. So the teeth, you see the gap there? Look how big that gap is. This thing will cut through a lot. You know what I mean? That's like 1.5 inches or more. Only issue with this one is it doesn't give you like that real crisp, fine cut. It's more of a, just for pruning, taking off the big stuff, but it still does a good enough job. If I was going to pick one, I would get the R, because if you ever run into those properties where you have to cut through some big stuff, it's good to have that. We also do use the combi attachments, and to be quite honest with you, those combi attachments are the best way, in my opinion, to trim bushes, because holding that hedger up all day will just put so much wear and tear on your body. I don't care how tough you are. You do this for like 25 years, you're gonna feel like you're 80 by the time you're 50. So the combis are more, they're balanced. You got the weight of the engine on the, on the back of the machine, and the weight of the attachment on the front. So you can almost balance it and trim bushes that way. That's the way to go, in my opinion. I just have that for, you know, basically so 2 people can trim and just to have a backup to get in tight areas behind bushes and whatnot. And then we use a air compressor to do all our maintenance. And that's pretty much it. Everything else is just the vehicles we use, which we use Ford F-150s. Right now we're using the V6s, but we'll probably switch to the V8s by next year. That was probably the biggest mistake I made, was buying V6s. They're just underpowered. They don't have the torque that you need to be towing all the time. So if you guys are going to be towing a lot, I would definitely recommend a V8. It's the only way to go, in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Got some new trailer tires in for the trailer. I just take these up to Benoist. They put them on for me. I always keep spares on hand. So down there I got some spare tires. So if the guys ever have like a flat or they're not paying attention and one of them's balding really bad, we'll just jack up the trailer and put a new one on. Basic hand tools in there. Some stuff up there. I mean, it's pretty much everything you can think of to keep your, you know, business running. So it's a lot of stuff, and I'm not one of those people that's like crazy about equipment. Like, I get excited for the first week, and then I hand it off to my guys, and they use it, because when you're the owner, you have so much going on that you just can't, you know, you don't care as much about it like they do. Like, they get excited to use it all the time. They always want to mow, you know. So it is what it is. You know, you got more stuff on your plate. You got the financial side of the business. You have the customer relation side. You have the marketing side. All that stuff. They do a lot of the maintenance. Simple things, checking the oil, checking the fluids, making sure the filters are cleaned, checking the tires. If there's a flat, they put a plug in it. They rinse them down every now and again. Typically we just blow them off because I don't really want water getting into the bearings, but stuff like that, real basic maintenance. And occasionally I'll have them come in and change oil, and I'll pay them for that. But other than that, that's pretty much all they do. You know, they have so much going on in the field that I try to keep that, you know, responsibility not on them, because then they just got too much going on. It's raining out here right now. Florida, it rains all the time. Probably gonna keep raining for a while too. But yeah, under that tarp we have that's the aerator, and that thing is great. Like, aerating is a really important thing you can do if you're dealing with like compacted lawns from having this heavy stuff on them, these heavy Z-turns. Put, you know, like, upsell your customer on some aerating like every year, and you'll make a little bit of money on it, not a whole lot, but you're also helping their lawn. Because a lot of customers, like 1-2 years into it, they'll be like, oh, can you switch to using a push mower? And it's like, no, I mean, we really can't, because we got too many lawns. So if we aerate it, we can put the we can break up the compaction and get away with using these bigger machines, and hopefully get their lawn, you know, nice and vigorous again. So when you guys do use these big machines, let me know in the comment section how you guys overcome the compaction of turf grass, and then also like just tearing into stuff, you know, when you're turning on these things. I know the trick of, you know, doing a 3-point turn and then also, you know, having both wheels moving at the same time. But either way, they always do a little bit of damage. So, like for example, this thing does not do any damage. You could cut a lawn for 10 years, you know, once a week, and you'll deal with very minimal compaction. Whereas if you did it with one of these, you'd have to give it like some time to recover, because it's just that constant, you know, mowing and weight and turning, and you know, no matter how gentle you are, you're going to have some problems. I have found that the Gravely does the least amount of damage, and I think it's just because the tires are so big. Like if you look at the Scag, little tires in the front, they're really too small in my opinion. Like, this is a 36, it has almost the same size, versus the Gravely, it's got that big, fat, wide tire on there. So this one almost like floats. I feel like this one distributes the weight better. Whereas the Scag, not so much. This front wheels, they're too narrow. And I think the back ones are fine. I think they're the same width. They might be a little wider than the Gravely, but the Gravely's are just taller. It's just those front ones. They're too narrow. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy this video, and this is all our equipment. It's a lot of stuff, and hope you guys kind of got to see like the different type of equipment and how we do things. Like I remember when I was first starting, I was on the fence of, oh, should I get a 52? Should I get a 48? Should I get a 36? Or should I get one of these little Exmarks? Over time, you're just going to get all of it, and it doesn't matter. You're going to use it all. If you keep growing your business, you're going to end up using all of it anyways. And once you wear one out, you just replace it. Once you find out, hey, we don't really need a 52, just, you know, get rid of it. Get something else. They don't last like as long as you think. When you're doing so many yards, like this machine by the end of the year will have over 1,000 hours on it. So it's already got 400. You know, it's just the way it is. You're going to spend some money on equipment. But yeah, leave your comments down below on the type of equipment you guys use, and you know what you guys do or what you guys use in your area and what type of mowers. I'd be happy to hear it. Thanks for watching.